All right. Welcome. Oh, what's good? What's good, Joel? Hey, look at these likes coming in. Welcome. Hello, guys. Hello. I'm always amazed by the growth of this channel. We're almost at 500 subs. We're halfway to 1,000 subs, and I'm sure we'll get there soon. As we continue to do these amazing live streams, as we do deep dives into individual stocks, and hopefully you guys are enjoying this kind of switch to more specific individual names rather than looking at a broad list of names as I've used to do in the past. But hey, if you guys miss something like that where I just go over tickers that you guys want me to look at, I will do other streams. Hopefully that can fit in my nightly routine here. And possibly give you guys an opportunity to do that again. But yeah, let's get started, guys. And of course, before I begin, please like the video, the stream down below by smashing that like button. And of course, if you guys are new and if you guys have not subscribed yet to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, and on top of that, hit that notification bell so that you guys do not miss out on any of my streams or any of the newly uploaded videos that I may have. All right. Okay, so as stated in the title here, I want to take a look at CPNG, ticker symbol CPNG, or coupang, which is considered the Amazon of South Korea. All right, so there's a lot of reasons why we actually call it the Amazon of South Korea, and I'll give you guys some examples. But before we begin, as to kind of why it's considered the Amazon of Korea, I kind of want to go into the fact that coupang, just like with a lot of different IPOs during the 2020 to 2022 time range, there were a lot of IPOs that were extremely overvalued during IPO, right? So coupang was one of them. So this one opened at, I believe, an IPO price of $63.50 and hit an all-time high of $69. And from a fundamental standpoint, this was obviously very oversold, and we tend to see a lot of IPOs being oversold. My bad, guys. Overbought and overvalued is what I meant. Overbought and overvalued during the initial IPO weeks, right? And so, coupang was one of those companies, and from a fundamental standpoint and where they stood financially, it just didn't make sense that they would be valued at this share price. So it just continued to sell off, right? I mean, we also saw that little bubble pop with a lot of zombie companies just absolutely having a waterfall moment into 2022 in the bear market as well, and eventually coupang started to find itself a footing in the teens here, right? And it made a very solid base for around 2.5 years, and it just began to start breaking out in early to mid 2024. So there's definitely some sort of a structure change here, and it looks very similar, right, to Grab, what we talked about on Tuesday's live stream. And again, if you guys really want to, oh, my chair is making some squeaky noises. I think I have some loose screws here. I got better check up on that before I sit down and I just completely wrecked the chair. That'll be a funny video. So what was I saying here? So coupang, I kind of want to look at it through the same lens that I looked at through Grab, and give you guys kind of an insight as to how this company is doing in my own motherland of South Korea. And I was initially attracted to this name during its IPO days because, again, it's a South Korean name, South Korean company that has publicly been listed into the New York Stock Exchange, and it was widely available for anyone to invest in, right? But obviously, I'm actually very lucky that back in 2021, I was like, okay, this looks overvalued, and I did not grab any shares, right? So this one continued to flush down, and I kind of basically just forgot about it until it started basing around 2022 and 2023. So now this has garnered my attention again, and I'll give you guys the reasons why here. And I also have to tell you guys I'm a bit biased because I do have a current swing trade position on this one that is up nearly 60% so far, and guess what, we got into that position today. Okay, so If you guys have not seen my Instagram story, again, my Instagram is @chartsfocus1. Make sure you guys head on over and take a look at the story so that you guys can quickly go over and review what I'm saying here so far about Coupang. But let's go over, like we did with Grab on Tuesday night, go over the kind of the fundamentals, the financial metrics that I look at, right? So I kind of want to give you guys a look into a website that I've used in the past, but I'm now using it again. So I tend to kind of move around between websites, but this is Coifin, right? So this is I think this is garnering some attention now, just like Finbox was back in 2021. But if you guys don't know what those are, just take a look at it, Coifin or Finbox or whatever else that you guys want to take a look at. But this is looking pretty popular now, so I came back to it. So these are the fundamental metrics that I took a look at through Grab on Tuesday night, and with Coupang I'm doing the same thing, right? Because these are kind of important metrics to be looking at, as to see kind of see what the company's doing on the surface and kind of on a deeper level, right? So Coupang is actually, it doesn't look too good, right? So it doesn't look too good because it might. Now I'm going to do a lot more research on this, especially if I decide to add this to next week's CFO Stream Watch report, just like I'm going to be adding Grab. But again, that's to be determined, TBD. But Coupang here, on the surface, based on what I've seen here so far, is not looking too hot. Okay, and so first of all, let's take a look at the free cash flow, right? Quarter by quarter here, and you can see that they're not really consistent. So in 2022 and 2023, they had some very good consecutive back-to-back positive free cash flow quarters, but so far it seems like in 2024 that fell off. That completely fell off, and you can see that free cash flow when you compare to total debt. Oof. Right, that's a big oof, right? The company is continuously garnering debt, and based on what I've seen so far, it seems like they're just using debt to finance growth, which is not unheard of for a tech growth stock company who are trying to leverage debt to grow as a company. Again, that's not unheard of. A lot of tech companies do that. But from a financial standpoint, it's a little bit iffy, right? Now, one positive thing that I saw in 2024 was that they actually had a repurchase of common stock, and Grab actually recently began to do that. I didn't show you guys on Tuesday, or I didn't mention it, but Coupang began to have a nice stock repurchase program, a buyback program in 2024, and they haven't done it since, but this is nice to see, right? But the most important thing here is that their gross profit margins has been expanding, which is great to see. This is nice. This is very, very nice. Right? I mean, their gross profit margins are double digits and percentage-wise, and they have been consecutively growing, albeit it's not really consistent, right? So overall, just based on the bar graphs that we have here, you want to see generally free cash flow, gross profit margins, cash and short-term investments, generally slowly going up, obviously, right? And so these metrics here are kind of important to look at to see the financial health of a company just on the surface level, and kind of gives you a deeper insight into more financial metrics that you want to take a look at as you want to go more into a more detailed outlook and picture of the company. Okay, so again, these are just very, very surface level metrics that I want to show you guys, and again, I talked about it on Grab. So again, if you want to take a look at Grab, okay, all right, again, this is my own little template here, right? Grab is actually looking pretty good, right? Look at the total debt, almost gone, right? They're paying down their debt, like I've said on Tuesday night, and their gross profit margins continue to increase, and they had recently began a stock repurchase buyback program, which is awesome to see. And their cash and short-term investments are beginning to go back up again, right? They're starting to have more cash on hand than short-term investments. Obviously, this is again surface level, right? You can go way more deeper into each of these single financial metrics, right? Going down to the actual numbers. But we're not gonna do that for the sake of the stream, right? I don't want to bore you guys out. And again, I'm more of a technical person, so I'm not gonna be going over that. And again, I'll be going over Grab in the official CFO Streaming Watch report this coming week. So look out for that if any of my readers are watching the stream now. But let's go back to Coupang. So there's a clear difference here compared to Grab, right? And I'm mostly concerned about this unless they're actually leveraging it to you know, in their favor. And it seems like I mean it's still, at least the total debt is smaller than their cash, and especially their short-term investments and assets that they currently hold, which is great. That's great. But you know, I still don't like this. All right, I don't like this from a long-term perspective. Now, obviously, it seems like this is probably the reason why from 2021 to 2022, this stock absolutely crashed, and I was actually correct. I didn't even take a look at the fundamentals back in 2021 during the IPO trading days, but it seems like the markets were pricing in the fact that it was very much overvalued and overbought. And obviously crashed back down to single digits here in 2022, and eventually began to find itself a footing and a foundation and formed a very nice flat base, which is now currently breaking out of, right? But here's the thing, right? The actual share price is actually not moving too quickly to the upside, which again, I think that's the stock price actually showing some caution to the actual fundamental metrics of this company, the actual financial metrics. So, you know, I just had to see how they're going to do in the next earnings, which is, again, mind you, next Tuesday. And again, we have a long weekend, right? So we have Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, since Monday is Washington's birthday, our first president in the US of A birthday. And so we have that day off. The markets are closed. So this one, I believe, has earnings pre-market too. So I will most likely try to get out. Oops, I did not want that. Okay, I will want to go get out before, you know, before the week is over, so tomorrow. But I will also give you guys the position that we are in now. But first of all, before we do that, okay, actually, you know what? Let me show you guys that now. So today, Coupang looked really good overnight, and if you guys take a look at my story on Instagram, the reason why I took a look at Coupang was that, well, I was looking at Grab and I was like, hey, you know, if you're going to be looking at international companies, or international companies that are multinational companies, if you guys understand what I mean, I want to take a look at Coupang. And Coupang is also trying to expand internationally. I don't remember which country specifically. I do remember reading it a couple months ago. I think they're trying to expand to Thailand. I'm pretty sure. If I'm mistaken, I apologize, but I believe it was Thailand. But Coupang here, they're making some strides. They're making some strides. So before we move into more of the actual company and what it does, let's go over this swing trade here. So this is the message I sent literally 14 minutes after market open, right? And because again, we're looking at Coupang last night. No, I was looking at it, and this one looked very, very good. Okay, this contract right here, and I wanted some time too, because again, I wouldn't know what the stock's gonna do. It seems like from a technical standpoint, there was a brief big push down yesterday, and it closed below the daily 10 SMA. So if I had to get out, I had to get out, right? And also I just wanted more time so that I'm not experiencing that volatility that the price experienced yesterday. So obviously, there was some luck on my side, because it ended up being a very good breakout today, and there was some very good volume that came in, and there was a big push upward. And it seems like yesterday was a simple shakeout. If you guys take a look at, let's put this away now. Okay, if you guys take a look at the volume on Tuesday, there was actually a very big volume, and it seemed like it was a simple shakeout on Wednesday to shake out any more weak buyers before we see that classic big breakout move to the upside, right? So I'm sure there's a lot of people who were in this name on Tuesday, and they had to get out for a stop loss, and then on today, those people which were just seeing this name absolutely explode higher, and they're pounding their fists on the table table, maybe hitting their head, and you know, they got that classic shakeout and then rip upwards. So obviously we weren't looking at this name yesterday during market hours, so we were lucky on that regards. But Coupang, absolutely amazing, right? So now on the weekly time frame, I would say we need to be a little bit cautious here. However, I love this long-term trend that the stock is now making. Okay, so we have a nice ascending channel, and whenever we do see a massive breakout, or at least a macro move out of a large multi-year base, we do tend to see this ascending channel being formed, where the price makes a constructive higher highs and higher lows, which is a complete different and a complete pivot from the previous price structure trend. And instead of moving sideways, we're actually moving in an actual net direction to the upside, right? So we're making higher highs and textbook higher lows, and I would expect the price to continue to move to the upside. But again, we have earnings, so earnings can change everything on Tuesday morning. So this is something that I will want to take into consideration before you guys try to enter in tomorrow, if you guys haven't looked at this name. But from a technical standpoint, everything looks very good from the longer term perspective, as you have continued to make higher highs and higher lows for all of 2024, right? So it seems like this is finally trying to recover, maybe just trying to go into a bit more of a fair share price, maybe possibly 230s, who knows, right? As long as this entire ascending channel upholds. But there is now, I want to go over some of the company insights, okay? So first of all, if you guys don't know how Coupang is considered the Amazon of South Korea, well, first of all, they had this system, or not system, but they have this thing called rocket delivery. And what does that sound like, guys? Prime delivery, right, for Amazon. So they have, it's pretty interesting. They have early morning, very early morning, and same day delivery. For they choose, you can have times for that. You can have early morning and same day delivery, and I guess that works in a country that's so small, but very I guess dense population wise per city, right, per capita, I guess. And I guess these times work for this delivery. I wish Amazon could have some sort of times like that, but again, the US is very big and Amazon is a very big company, so I don't think they will want to figure out the logistics of that. But Coupang does provide that dawn and same day delivery, that early morning. And they also have free next day delivery as well if you have that rocket delivery. I guess I haven't really looked into it, but I think that's a subscription. But regarding subscriptions too, they have this thing called WOW, or WOW membership. So that one provides unlimited free shipping and 30-day returns as well. Unlimited 30-day returns, I believe. And also they also do grocery delivery, just like, for example, Instacart. So they do everything, right? And encompasses kind of the same essence of what Amazon does. And so that's kind of the two main drivers of their own business. And you know, they have, like, you know, they even have food delivery, again, which is why I was looking at Coupang last night when we were looking at Grab. They have Coupang Eats. I think they also have digital payment system too, Coupang Pay. Yeah, that's right. They have Coupang Pay too, which I don't think is too popular in Korea. I haven't seen that too much in my motherland. They have a lot more competition, I believe, from Kakao. If you guys don't know what that is, that's okay. But they also have a streaming service too, just like with Amazon Prime. I think it's called Coupang. What was it? Coupang Play. That's right. They have Coupang Play. I should know this as a South Korean. So they have Coupang Eats, Coupang Pay, and Coupang Play. Now, here's the thing. Okay. So if you guys remember, I mentioned this to my readers and to my members as well. So Coupang actually had an acquisition. So they had an acquisition in 2023, in late 2023. I don't remember exactly the month, but they bought a luxury, I believe it's like an e-commerce or it's a reseller of luxury items called Farfetch, right? So they have a ticker symbol. It was FTCH, okay. And Farfetch, I believe, I actually don't exactly remember. I think it is. I'm pretty sure it is a US-based company. Is it a US-based company? No. I got that wrong. my memory. So Farfetch is actually its HQ is in London, England, in the UK, which actually makes sense there, huh? Since a lot of South Koreans are very enamored with the UK and Europe as a whole. So yeah, so Farfetch is it's just a e-commerce marketplace for luxury items that people can either sell their own, I believe, luxury items that they have, and also I believe also some luxury brands also sell their stuff there too, if I'm not mistaken, since it is a marketplace. I haven't actually gone to Farfetch's website, so I wouldn't know. So Coupang bought that entire business, and that obviously took a big hit on their overall finances. I think that also really took in what was it? I think that affected their cash on hand too, if I remember correctly. I might be wrong there, but I'm pretty sure in 2023. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did. There's also a dip in their free cash flow too, as seen here. Yeah, so that's interesting. I don't think it was a great decision, since Farfetch was a struggling company too. So I think Coupang did them a favor of buying them out. But that also means they've added Farfetch's own fundamental financial metrics onto the company of it itself, right? Coupang's company. Not company, Coupang's finances. So that was also a major reason why we actually saw some a fall off in the share price, which makes sense, guys, right? So whenever you see a company buying out another company, the company that is buying out the company, another smaller company, let's say like again Coupang to Farfetch, the share prices are looking at it and saying, hey, this company's about to spend a heck of a lot of money to buy another company, which they don't know whether or not it is going to be an actual asset. And so far, based on the reaction that we saw in late 2023, it seemed like it was more of a liability, which indeed it was, because Farfetch, again, it wasn't doing too well. And now, again, in 2022, finances was not something that was something that people were becoming a bit more aware of, their own finances. Inflation was raging worldwide, and people were really not trying to focus on spending on luxury items. So Farfetch, again, wasn't doing too well, and it seemed like Coupang kind of had a bad, I would say it wasn't bad, but probably a wrong timing on their hand to be looking for an acquisition like that. But I think based on the current price action now, it seems like the actual outlook on this acquisition is changing, right? Because Farfetch, I believe, is actually doing a little bit better now, as we're seeing Coupang continuously expanding internationally too. It's trying to be a multinational company, and I think I'm pretty sure it was Thailand, but oh no. God, my memory again. It's Taiwan. It's Taiwan, guys. That's right. It's Taiwan, not Thailand. I was stuck in that southeastern mindset from Grab on Tuesday night. So it was Taiwan that Coupang is trying to expand to and grow their business there as well, and have a foothold of their brand in Taiwan. And so it seems like again. Overall, Farfetch, it looks like long-term and short-term investors are kind of moving past that now, this acquisition, and they're trying to view it as a bit more of a positive, that it could be a great asset in the near-term future based on how the price action is doing, even if there were some horrible quarters here. so far, and obviously the financial metrics do not look too good. But again, we do have earnings coming up on Tuesday. Oh, it's after hours on wait, this is next Tuesday. Oops. next Tuesday. Okay, so I think TradingView just updated because I've known it as next Tuesday. But hey, doesn't matter. Seems like I have more time for my swing trade there. But overall, I think, you know, Coupang again still has some very good profit margins. Like I've shown you, they've had a consistent growth since 2022, which is great. Again, let me show you guys that these metrics again. All right, right here, right? So very good. Okay, and you can even see where the drop in free cash flow actually happened after the acquisition from a Farfetch for Coupang. Right, I mean, you guys can see that, and then the debt rapidly increased off of that one-off purchase. Right, so I'm pretty sure, I don't know the exact numbers, that Coupang actually took on Farfetch's debt too, which I truly believe Farfetch did have debt. I don't know why they wouldn't have, or else they wouldn't have sold their business out to Coupang. And so, you know, I really want to see their short-term and long-term assets and investments ballooning a lot more than their total debt. And at some point, I want to see their total debt slowly being paid down too, just like what we saw with Grab. I want them to be a bit more financially prudent. But here's the thing. Now this is a bit more of a subjective perspective on Coupang. Okay, so from my own South Korean perspective and how society works there. South Korea has been one of the most successful companies to actually incorporate capitalism, right? Democracy and capitalism. They've had their ups and downs, but it's been one of the most successful countries, modern countries, first world countries, to be able to, come out as a first world country and have capitalism do really well. However, there are now signs that this capitalism, this postmodern capitalist society, is actually having some very bad problems on society. Okay, so first of all, a lot of people are too focused on monetary things, right? So they are focused on well, everything is about money, right? Their entire life is encompassed by money. They want to surround themselves with wealth. And why am I telling you guys this? Well, it will matter in a few short seconds. People are just focused on material things as well. And it's gotten to a point where people will judge you if you quote unquote look poor. Right? I'm not really you know, this is not too far from the truth. People will stare at you if you look out of place in a certain area, right? So even in elevators, even in malls, they will badmouth you secretly in their heads, or using their lips. They will say it underneath their breath, under their breath there. So. There is some rising concerns and problems that are happening due to this rapid, incorporation of capitalism to South Korea's society and economy. So that's a big problem. And now, how does this be? How is it going to be incorporated or translated to this company? Well, management, right? Management. So this company again. I don't know if they're making such great financial decisions for the future again, like with this acquisition with such bad timing, right? But again, hey, margins are improving. They're seeing increased revenue, which is great. They're trying to expand internationally as well. They're trying to become a multinational company by heading towards Taiwan and establishing their brand there, which is great. However, that's great and all. Again, that's great. But if they're not financially prudent, there is no point in trying to focus on, expanding internationally when they should be focusing on the actual domestic markets that they're in, right, which is South Korea. So, that's going to be kind of my one major point there for the short term. Well, I would say short to near term. No, that's the short to long term future of this company. Okay. So the management, okay. All right, so with that being said, I want to finish the stream by just going over some profit targets for Coupang. So obviously, my contracts are very much deep in the money now. They're literally $1 above my strike price of $24 and 24 strike call contracts that expire on March 21st, which also encompasses earnings as well that we have next Tuesday. You know, I think there's a great opportunity for us to continue to go back up. There's increasing volume. There's probably going to be a nice short squeeze like move up higher once we're able to break over this 25.20-ish or 25-ish level. And potentially get back us to this supply area that we saw around $26. So around this area right here. Okay, right around here. And if you're able to break up above that, well, that'd be great. That'd be amazing, right? Because we can at least make another higher high and again, conform to this ascending channel that we've been forming since 2024. Since, well, again, all of 2024, we've been forming this ascending channel. So with that in mind, I want to take a look at the volume profile as well. Okay, so look at this. Look how perfect that is on the breakout today, right? On this week so far, there's a heavy amount of buying that came in. Just overall, just heavy volume, overall volume. And prices exploded over 24, and now we have a little area, this gap in volume here that the price can easily push up higher without much resistance, right? So this is kind of the path of least resistance that began around 24.50 and also goes all the way up to 26. So this is great, right? And so I would say the short-term target before earnings will be around 26. That would be very ideal. But you know, hopefully the earnings catalyst can allow the price to absolutely explode up higher and reach this ascending resistance trend line. Does that make sense, guys? All right, well, that's it for tonight, guys. Hopefully, if you guys enjoyed this stream, and if you guys again are enjoying my these one single ticker live streams, please hit the thumbs up button down below. And if you guys are new here, please hit that subscribe button if you guys learned something new, or if you guys think that this will be a great stock to add onto your watch lists for this week or into next week. All right, so hopefully, you know, this is a very useful and very informative and most importantly applicable live stream, which I always strive to do. And thank you guys so much for always. I guess I can always see your reactions on your on the live chat as well. That's great to see. Hey, thank you guys. I see it there. So again, guys, if you guys want to you know, learn and earn, and if you guys want to have that kind of a learn and earn system every single Sunday night, please become a reader of the CFO Swing Watch report. Again, I guarantee you guys, 100% guarantee you guys will not regret becoming a reader of the CFO Swing Watch report. And again, if you guys become a reader, you guys will gain full access to the private CFO Discord community as well, where you can further your learning in trading. And most importantly, you guys can get both of that for the price of one. Okay, so again, this is a great opportunity for you guys to really learn this year, and obviously learn and earn. That's the entire point of the CFO Swing Watch report. It's a very good top-down research, I guess, paper is what I would say as well. It's a very good research paper. And I really think that it will be very applicable to your own trading, whether it be day trading, swing trading, or even long-term investing. Right? I try to cover some very good setups as well that can be taken as a day trade, or taken as a swing trade, or even as a long-term investment. All right, so I always try to cover everything, every style of trading. I always try to look for opportunities that will cover all those different ways of trading. So if you guys are interested in that, if that aligns with your trading goals, please look at the description box down below and take a look at the link that has the CFO Swing Watch newsletter or report link down below, right? So again, you guys can find it. It's the I believe it's the very second link in the description box. But yeah. I'll leave it to you guys to take a look at that. But that is it for tonight. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for the likes. I see your guys' like there. Thank you guys so much. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week on Tuesday at the same time, 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a great rest of your night, and thank you so much for watching.